Hello, this is U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders. You're listening to John Santo's The Radio. It's a great show, and the best thing about this show, it's free. Totally free. Ladies and gentlemen, your host, John Santo. Thank you, Senator Sanders. This is The Radio. We are the #1 radio show in the world as measured in an independent poll by Santo Analytics. And I am very pleased to announce that I have a special guest co-host in the studio, as I do each week. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
Eric Haft. How are you?
I'm very well, Eric. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Awesome, baby. We're live.
We are live.
This is cool, man. How long are you doing this show?
This is episode 12.
12.
So we're in our 12th week.
And I hear you are the #1 radio station in the country.
And we're also that was a.
I just happened to see it on. I think it was Santo Analytics.
Santo Analytics did that poll. Not related.
It's
to
not
me.
the same Santo.
No.
Because I was saying to myself, I said John wouldn't do that. Like he wouldn't. It's probably just like a friend, who happens to have the same name or
coincidence,
right? And he apparently is very accurate. I'm sure he does other polls that are unrelated.
Oh, many other polls.
But I mean, the other one I saw though was the funniest impressionist. He did a thing on that too.
He did that one too. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and it had you #1. I mean, that's
had me #1.
But that's a coincidence, I think.
Strictly coincidental. Actually, one of those polls had me at #2, so I didn't pay for the poll.
How's it going?
Very well. How are you?
I'm good.
But we are the #1 radio show on this network on this day at this time.
Wow.
Yes.
See, that's impressive.
Yes. We're the only show on this network on this day at this time.
And what I like about it is it's very high tech. Like
nobody
can see us.
Nobody can see us. Strictly audio.
Yeah, they can't see us. We don't get headphones, so we can't really hear ourselves either.
Correct.
So you really keep the budget very low.
Very low.
Yes.
But it is an amazing studio.
It is.
I like not having the headphones.
No, it is actually nice. Headphones are a pain in the neck.
They're
sometimes.
a pain.
Yeah, because after a while I was a drummer my whole life, and it's like you're always wearing headphones for something. It's nice.
Why do you have to wear headphones as a drummer?
Well, I'm saying, like the music these days, a lot of times you're playing along with tracks. You have in-ear monitors.
Oh, so you have the monitors.
Yeah, so sometimes you're, or if you're in a studio, of course.
It's funny you mentioned that because I had seen, do you remember Yanni at the Acropolis? Did you see Yanni at the Acropolis?
I would never watch something like that.
I actually, a lot of people hate Yanni. I actually like Yanni.
No, I honestly, I've heard Yanni, but I don't know. I think I'm diametrically opposed to Yanni.
They were so far apart, the musicians, that the timing would have been off. So they had to wear headsets. Now, I actually tried to book a comedy show, Santo at the Acropolis. And I was going to book, all my friends from Long Island. We'll do like a 3-day comedy festival. And the Greek government is being a little tough with the permits.
Even though you are, in fact, Greek.
Well, I was, for the purposes of the show.
Just for the show.
I was Greek.
Just for the show.
But they won't give me the permits.
Well, I know why. It's Carrie Karavis's family. They have to get paid off.
Well, Carrie, of course, is going to be on the show. Every Greek comic I know I was going to book and then have the rest of us,
She's in charge of all that.
She's in charge.
Yes.
I miss her restaurant, the Tzatziki.
I know.
It was the best.
She doesn't miss it at all.
Oh, I know. She told me. But her gyros were the best.
By the way, this is less than 5 minutes and we're talking about Carrie. We have to stop.
Okay.
She gets way too much press and she's not paying for any of this.
Well, she did give me some nice gyro sandwiches over the years. So I feel
that's true. Give her a plug for the old restaurant, yes.
We did a show together. It was myself, Rich Walker, and Carrie. We did a show up in Massachusetts. So we all met at her restaurant, and she's like, "What do you want? What do you want? What are you gonna eat?" And then I was like, "Oh, I'll just take a gyro." I could not believe the size of this freaking gyro, and I brought a towel for the car.
It must have smelled great in that car.
Oh, the car, because we ate it on the road on the way up, and I'm like, "You can't eat cold Greek food."
Oh, yuck!
I used to drive from my house 20 to 25 minutes away. Her restaurant is from my house. I had a whole system.
Yeah.
Once I used to call it in from the Parkway at a certain exit because then it would ensure it was hot when I
Hot,
arrived.
very hot, yes.
And then I would put it into. I had a thermal sleeve in the car.
Oh, that's great.
And then I drove it home. And the key was the timing of the lights. So that was tough. Sometimes these damn cameras are a real drag because if you have hot food in the car, you should be able to run. I think you should be able to run like 2 or 3 lights a year.
I think it is legal if you have hot food. You're allowed to go through at least.
You should
2.
have like a sign you got to put up, and you can do that 3 times a year.
It's like a gyro. They call it the gyro pass or something.
The gyro pass.
Yeah, I think so.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I like that.
Now, the first time I met you, not really met you, but because I got into comedy late.
Yeah.
I always think of the story was the first real time I think was at the Paramount.
The Paramount,
Theater, right?
Yes,
where we actually finally met. And I, of course, knew about you, and I don't know. I don't think we ever worked prior to that together because at the time I used to do a couple of voices and impressions, and they would never put us on the same show.
I'm glad you brought this story up because I said I've always wanted to work with Eric Haft. I heard like everybody said, "Oh, you got to see, he's an animal. He's amazing. Oh, yeah. You're an animal on stage. You're an animal." And they're like, people are like, "Oh, I don't want to put you and Eric on the same show because," and we're laughing at it.
I know we never get a chance to do it. We never get to perform.
And then they said, "Well, maybe we'll put you and Eric. We'll put somebody in between." And there's been so many shows that we've done back to back, and it was never an issue.
Stupid.
So for years, all these reasons.
And then Paul Anthony, I love Paul, and he would always bring me on, or he would bill me. He would say, America's, and he probably did the same thing with you.
Yep.
America's, impressionist, number one impression.
Yep.
I said, Paul, please, you got to stop. I'm not an impressionist. I said, I don't.
Yeah, but you do good.
I do voices. I said I do characters, but at the time I was doing a couple. At the end of my set, I would do a couple of things.
Well, the Italian restaurant, I was pounding the railing at the Paramount. I was in the balcony to your left of the stage,
and I heard you.
And I'm pounding on the rail because the guys at Sergio's and Amato's, where I've been eating since college, down like precise, down to even what they offered for dessert, the cassata.
All the desserts.
I couldn't believe it, and you're doing it perfectly. And then we used to go like hang out after shows. I remember we went to a diner, and what's amazing about Eric, ladies and gentlemen, is that I'm not as into doing real world impressions off the stage. Eric, no fear, right? With that waitress, you're doing this like foreign accent.
Yes. I don't know what it is. Like
it was hilarious.
But you started like when you were a kid, you probably did the stuff. Did you do it in the mirror? Like faces, voices,
voice. My teachers in school.
Of course, it was always. But
those.
I never felt. Like when I watch guys like you, I go, see, I can't. I can't.
But you did it. You do Godfather bit and those bits. Those are funny bits.
I used to. I don't do, but I always impersonate. It was more like, it was a character. Even like when I was a kid, there was this guy. Like this is the kind of stupid stuff you do when you're a kid. There was a trumpet player. I played in the band, in school band. And this guy, Tony Bracco was his name. He's out there, so he's probably listening to us. Tony Bracco. But I always said Tony's voice sounded like a trumpet player would sound. Like his face looked like a trumpet player. You know what I mean? And he was like, "Hey, man, how you doing, man? Hey, Eric, you were always so freaking funny, man, But his face sounded like a scrunched up trumpet player,
Like a trumpet
player. But I would do that kind of, I would hear somebody's voice and I couldn't help it.
I wish they could hear. I wish they could see the voice, the face, because Eric just did a perfect caricature of the face.
That's how you got started, just doing the.
I used to do my math teacher, Mrs. Talley.
What does she sound like?
If I give you a number between 1 and 5, that's exactly how she sounded. And then I would do Mr. Drew. Yeah. All right, let's see what you know. Quiz time. I mean, he was a piss of that guy.
Voices are fun. I mean,
they're fun,
and their faces. The face is important.
Very important.
You can't do certain, like I'm sure you do.
Well, like when I do Bush, I got to do the squinting.
You have to, right?
Oh, yeah.
But that's what you do. Like when I was a kid, we would sit there and my same thing. I was a terrible student, horrible student. I just hated school. All I wanted to do was play drums, music. So I didn't go to half of my class. And then I remember showing up to like science class, and this guy hated me. He just hated me because I was never prepared, and I would show up on the one day they had a test, and I didn't know about it. And he would always say the same. He would make a speech. He had a lisp, and he would make this big long speech, and he would say, "There are certain people that refuse to come to class, and when they do show up, they have no clue what the assignments are, and I won't mention who those." And as he's saying this, every head is turning
towards you.
And those people will never, it was like back to school. You will never ever pass this class.
Oh, you kidding? I'm just trying to help. That guy, he was like Philip Bombay. Yeah. Dr. Bob was a bomb. I can't believe I remember that.
Is that his name?
I think so.
Oh, yes.
Somebody's fact checking it right now. Philip. Oh, Philip, don't be such a rube or whatever. That movie was great.
But voices are fun, and but as a comic, it's hard because the expectation. Like, I could never. That's why I told Paul Anthony back in the day, I would say, Paul, please, don't say that kind of stuff because people expect something. They want you to be like, oh, this guy's the greatest, huh? Like, you have to go up there.
You got to go up there and you got to be, the guy. Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind saying, hey, this guy's really funny and he's a great comedian, whatever. You might have seen him in the whatever, but they're not. I don't know.
You know what's funny about impressionists? And I used to see these two guys from England arguing with each other. It's not. I never say like. I joke around with the poll and everything, but really, there are different impressionists. Like, just because I don't do the impression the same way as somebody else, they might be picking up a different part of it than I am. So, like, I actually like to sit down with other impressionists and say, "Wow, you do Trump, but you do this part of it, and I'm doing that part of it." Or like with
Pacino, there are five different Pacinos.
5 different Pacinos, and they're not. It's whatever the audience likes.
I knew a guy who could only do Pacino, but he can only. He would do the speech from
which Pacino? Any Given Sunday?
No. The speech from
Devil's Advocate?
No, where he's the blind guy.
Oh, Scent of a Woman.
Yeah, at the end, the big.
I never
big
saw.
monologue.
I never saw that.
Oh, come on, really? But yeah, he's got that crazy, sort of Southern thing, and he could do just that monologue, but it was absolutely perfect. And he just worked on that one monologue, but he could never do Pacino.
Right.
The young Pacino.
The young Pacino. If nobody could do the Dog Day Afternoon Pacino, that's hard.
It's hard. Yeah,
that's hard. Or Godfather Pacino.
Yeah, and even Marlon Brando sounded different, obviously.
Yep.
The older these guys get,
the
more raspy
it totally
their voices
changes.
Get. Even De Niro, I do a great De Niro face, but the voice is hard. Like, I mean, I don't know. Do De Niro for me.
The hoof. We gotta borrow the knife. Take off the hoof.
Yeah,
looks like somebody we know.
Yeah, but you got to do the face. The face.
You got to do the
face.
face.
So it's hard. It really is. I mean, I never got that good at it, I guess you could say.
Well, my new bit now, I'm doing because Star Wars is big. Irishman is big, so I did a Star Wars meets the Irishman, where it's what if Al Pacino was Darth Vader and De Niro was Luke. And I do the scene in Empire where he tells him he's his father.
Oh, that's great.
Like, Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father. Yeah, he told me enough. He told me you whacked him. So I do a whole bit about that whole scene.
That's great.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to do that.
It's good to, it's good to bring him back, too, because De Niro, for a while, it becomes, he's doing De Niro. But now when you do it,
an original bit,
Irishman's back,
right? The Irishman meets Star Wars meets. Are you a Star Wars fan?
Yeah.
Did you
I
see 9?
got into it very late because my son got me into it.
Oh, you didn't watch it as a kid?
No, so like as an adult, I freaking watched it, but he made me start. I forgot what order it was. It wasn't like I think we started with like the new stuff, like the. Yeah, but I got to watch it. Like
the only acceptable way to watch it for everybody listening is the order in which the movies were released.
That makes sense.
Not the episode number.
Right.
The only one that's in the exact order of release. Actually, 4, 5, and 6 were the first 3 movies. Then 1, 2, and 3 were 4, 5, and 6.
So Phantom Menace.
Right. And but the episode 7 was the first movie where the episode number matched the order of release.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
And what was that one? Return of the Jedi?
No, that was
Last Jedi?
The Force Awakens.
Oh, yes. That was
all the new people.
Yes.
It's like 20 years after the...
But
whatever.
I did I became like a fan.
Did you see all of them now? Did you see
No,
9?
there's the new one I haven't seen.
Okay, you got to go see the new one. It's incredible.
Is it?
Yes. A lot of people, I heard mixed reviews. I'm not going to say anything else.
No, my son saw it, of course, I think twice, even though he said, you know.
In my opinion, it was the best one.
Really?
Yes. The best one, at least of all of the outside the original trilogy.
Okay.
Definitely the best one.
Yeah. All right.
But I loved it. I thought I was like, I'm not going to say anything else.
All right. Yeah. No, I'll definitely say it. But we do that. Yeah, we'll sit at home and like do like 3 or 4 at a time and kind of catch up. But I was lame. I wasn't into anything. You know.
Oh, I saw them as a kid. It took me 43 freaking years.
Yeah.
When I saw this movie, I went New Year's Day to see it, and when the scroll started, I'm like, Episode 9. Here we go again. You know, like here's the scroll.
Yes.
But if you think of like the entire Star Wars, I've been saying this for a long time. What did they achieve? They built 2 Death Stars, trillions of dollars. What did you? It's like because I'm working on a Sopranos Star Wars, right, where the Emperor's like, I will rule the galaxy," and Tony Soprano's Luke Soprano Walker, and he's like, or Tony Soprano Walker, he's like, "All right, what the frick? I mean, what are you the leader of?"
Yeah.
All right, we won't fly our ships over here because the Emperor said so. You frickin' baby. It's like, what are you going to control? Just let the ships fly around. Who gives a shit? It's like space is huge.
That's funny.
I used to do it as a Star Trek bit, but I think the Star Wars is better. Like the Klingons, you watch Star Trek, right?
Yeah.
It's like, what the frick are you doing? Every time we fly anywhere near Klingon space, you gotta break our balls. Just let us fly around. We'll bring you gabagool. It's true.
I was thinking of you today. It's just total coincidence. I was looking up a recipe, and you look up Italian food. Everything Italian pops up, and this guy, Paul something. I'll find out. I'll look it up on YouTube, and it's a guy being interviewed. He's watching like the top 10 mafia scenes, but he's an ex-mafia like hitman. He was in jail for years.
Oh, the Iceman. Is it that guy?
I gotta look it up. I'll let Paul something maybe. So I start watching. And he's watching the video, and he's of course the Sopranos, where he's sitting with his therapist and telling the therapist about how hard it is, and he doesn't want his son to be, Anthony to go into the business. So he has to rate it on a scale from 0 to 5. He goes, how realistic it is. And he goes, it's a 0. He goes, first of all, any mafia guy, any big shot in the mafia talking to a therapist, they'd both be dead. The therapist and the guy, they would have knocked him off because who knows what he told her,
Exactly.
So he said it's 0. He got a 0 on that one,
Business was never discussed. Well, we had some big events this week.
I want to hear about
Did you watch the Super Bowl?
Why do you have to bring the Jews? The Jew. Why? The Jew. Why do you have to bring up the Jews?
Say that again.
What'd you say? The Jew.
You saw Annie Hall. Oh, my God. That scene. I was just talking to somebody about that. I was having lunch with Tom Christie and 2 guys from NBC. And he said, did you eat? He said, but he didn't say, did you eat? Not did you. Jew. Get it, Jew? I love that scene. That's the first scene of Annie Hall.
Yeah.
Well, after he does the monologue bit, when they're walking in the... I think I went by that street. I was driving around. And I was near it, but I don't know if it looks the same. I always want to walk down that street. That Annie Hall was a great picture.
Oh man,
so many cliches in there.
Incredible. All right, what events you got?
Did you watch?
See, when you're an actor, you have to articulate.
There he goes.
Did you?
I told you he could do voices at the drop of a dime.
This man can do so many voices.
Oh, remember? Oh, the waitress. I want to finish off the waitress story.
Yes.
When you were doing all the things for the waitress, you were like, how long have you been here? And she goes, since 7 a.m. But you meant how many years?
She
was breaking our balls back.
It was great.
She was great. I was like, oh, my God.
That's how you know they've been doing it a long time.
If we did that as a sitcom scene, we wouldn't even have to hire an actress to play her. She could play herself.
She was so good.
She was really good. So you watched the Super Bowl, right?
I did watch the Super Bowl, yes.
What a game. Terrific game, unbelievable game. I wanted the Chiefs to win because of 2 reasons. One, they haven't won in 50 years. As a Jet fan, I sympathize.
Of course, yeah.
And the local team here in Massapequa was the Chiefs.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so I was like...
And Mahomes is a Met fan.
Mahomes is a Met fan. So there was a lot of reasons to root for the Chiefs.
I wanted to see them win. And I had watched a thing on Sunday morning about some old 100-year-old woman that has been waiting for the team to win.
Well, 50 years. She was 50 years old at the time. So I used to be in advertising, and I have one friend who is always talking. This is how he really talks to me. He's like, "Hey, Santo, I can't believe how much those freaking ads cost. What are they crazy? These stupid companies. They pay $5.6 million for a freaking ad?" And I'm like, so I have to try to go through the math with him to try to get him to, because I'm like, well, I won't say his name because he'll kill me. I said, well, there's a cost per thousand. And if you factor in that there's over 102 million viewers, I think they had this year, 5.6 million, that's $55 per thousand people. In advertising terms, that's not a lot of money. The media company I work for, our ad rate worked out, it was like only 18,000, but it worked out to about 300 per thousand, or 150 per, depending on the ad.
Yep.
But that's really not. And then, they replay the ad over and over again on the websites if it's a funny one. Like I like the Walmart one with the science fiction.
It was
great.
great.
And the Hyundai with the parked the car and parked it.
It was. I have to say the commercials were really.
They were good this year.
They were very good.
So if you think about the number of times that ad's going to be repeated on Twitter and all the social, that's not a bad buy for. I mean, that's not including the production costs. But that's just the ad buy.
These guys know what they're doing.
And these are multinational corporations in the billions of dollars. That's an efficient way.
I didn't even know about this company, and they spent a lot. Yes, this Bud, I think it goes by Budweiser or Bud Light, they call it.
Yeah.
I didn't know they sold beer. And then I'm watching the Super Bowl, and I'm like, wow, I got to drink some of this stuff. So now I feel like, wow.
Well,
they convinced me.
None of the ads are really what I call a call to action, like to do something, unless there's like some kind of. It's a general image awareness ad. They want to do, and a lot of times they do it for the sponsorship. Yeah. They're in, and that's the funny thing about the Super Bowl, because I was a consultant to MetLife for a while, and I was there when they had the Super Bowl in MetLife Stadium, and they viewed it as a very. But even though it was in MetLife Stadium, and MetLife sponsored the Jets and the Giants, they couldn't use the word Super Bowl. Super Bowl, you have to be a Super Bowl sponsor.
Really?
To use the word Super Bowl and the Lombardi trophy and the numerals. They had to say, that's why you hear like PC Richards say, get the TV for the big game.
Yes.
They can't say Super Bowl.
Okay. I never knew that.
Yep.
But yeah, now I'm definitely buying that Bud Light stuff.
Get that Bud Light.
That really does it for me.
So so a lot of people were asking on. I saw some people that were not typical NFL people on Facebook asking why it was in Miami. Is it because it's not either team's home stadium? And that's not really what it is. The Super Bowl sites are picked years in advance. Like I have them all here. 2021 is Tampa. 2022 is Los Angeles. 2023 is Arizona, and then Super Bowl 58 in 2024 is going to be in Louisiana at the Superdome, whatever it is down there. So these sites are all picked. Now, the curse of the Super Bowl is that no team has ever made the Super Bowl when it was the year that it was in their home stadium.
Really?
Yeah, 54
Never?
Super Bowls. No team has ever played at home.
Wow.
So,
that's pretty crazy.
But you have to have the Super Bowl. So next year it's in Tampa. So if the Buccaneers make the Super Bowl, and next year, and they'll be playing in their home stadium. But you have to make it the same year.
Is it ever in New York, by the way?
It was in New York that one time. It was because they gave New York the Super Bowl because they built the new stadium.
Oh, okay.
So they give you like that to make some money back off the stadium.
Right.
But it's a pain. That was a disaster.
Shuts down the city.
Yeah. And you know what? The Super Bowl, when it goes to other places, you know Mike Francesa, right? He used to say that, Mike, are you there? I'm right here. First of all, when the Super Bowl is in New York, it's not even a factor because New York is so big. So the smaller cities, it becomes the whole event. That's why.
Oh, Mike, I never realized that.
That's why. I don't think they'll ever have it in New York. Plus, it was a total disaster. There were 85,000 seats at the stadium. 22,000 parking spaces were made available. So figure 2 people per car. That's what? About 44,000 people.
Yeah.
Where did they think the rest were? They had one train going into the stadium. It was a total disaster because they didn't factor. They didn't have any plan. They should have had buses. They should have had more trains. Total Disaster. Plus, you had an ice storm the next day. It could have wiped out the whole thing. So that was a total disaster.
I don't know if I hope you don't mind. I brought one of the guys that went to the Super Bowl.
He's here.
Yeah, he's my friend. Do you mind if I just bring him in?
Bring him in
because I had to get his take on the halftime show.
Let him in the studio.
Yeah, Juan, come here. If you.
I love it. I don't know. I biting the cello. That chica when she come down the pole and she is swinging with her ass was swinging. I go ahead. I go crazy, and then Shakira, she crazy too about that. What a bunch of crazy, and they singing and they beautiful. I really, I just want to say, I love it a lot.
You like the halftime show, Juan?
I just want. I think everybody now see what Miami all about.
I always shit on the halftime show unless it's like a band I really like.
I was a little disappointed.
A little, right?
They don't. It's like half singing. It's like the tracks are planned.
Right.
I know they say there was a live band behind the scenes.
Bullshit.
I don't know.
The thing about the J-Lo thing is she sings that whole song about how she's so humble. Used to have a little, now I have a lot. If you have to sing a song about how you used to have a little, now you're not humble. You're an asshole. It's like,
hey, I don't know. And then Jay-Z and Beyonce were there. Didn't stand.
Didn't stand.
What do you think of that?
I don't like. I'm not. You know what? No matter what. This is the way I feel about the flag standing and everything. Don't disrespect the thing that gives you the right to protest everything else. Protest everything else separately, but not the flag. Even though you have the right to protest the flag, don't protest the flag. Let's do all the other protesting separately from that.
He just cut a huge deal with the NFL,
It's taken away from that cause. Billions. I think viewership for the Super Bowl was 117 million in 2015. And it's declined to, it was 98 last year, 102 this year. I think a big reason.
Roger Goodell is a big reason. The guy he's done some bad stuff.
What else is he? What is he?
Well, I mean, just in terms of allowing a lot of this, between like their drug controversies, their
right.
The whole flag thing, that the Kaepernick thing. Agree or disagree. It's just like somebody's got to just other sports don't seem to
have that.
Yeah, it's kind of like, hey, this is the way we do it. Either you play by the rule. I don't know why. I don't know. But he's gotten a bad rap. He's not well liked, and from what I understand. And,
Mike, Mike Francesco, you still there?
Mike would know.
I'm here. First of all, the NFL it's a total disaster. That's the last thing that they wanted was a controversy. They want to just sell tickets and merchandise and make a lot of money. I mean, look at the prices of some of these things. It's outrageous. It's all about the dollar, the dollar, the dollar, the dollar.
Wow.
I love Mike. He has all of these insights like right away.
Is he still doing it? Is he still on the air?
He's on from 6 to 6:30 now on the Fan, but no callers. He just does a half-hour recap show of the events of the week. Speaking of events of the week, Pamela Anderson split with her husband after 12 days of marriage. Can you believe this shit? 12 days.
12 days. I like the way he said 12. Say that again. 12 days of marriage. The way he's
12 days of marriage.
Who did you sound like? Okay, keep going.
I don't even know who that was. Sometimes I don't know myself. Now, this is what really bothers me, right? Yes. She's 52. The husband was 74. Well, he's 74.
I know what.
22 years difference.
Let's talk to him. His name is Marty. Marty, come here. Why did she split up with you?
I'll tell you the truth. I went out and got bagels one morning. I said, Pam. I used to call her Pam. I said, Pam, honey, what do you want on your bagel? I could have sworn she said jelly. I came back with jelly, and she went berserk. That was it. She wanted cream cheese. We split. It was, and there was an everything bagel, and the seeds got caught. She blames me. For
Marty,
this.
I mean, you were such a happy couple for 12 days.
I was playing gin with the guys. I'm not listening.
All right, sorry.
That's okay. But Marty, you're 74.
Yes.
How did you marry somebody 22 years younger?
Well, there's an old Italian saying. It's called the schlong. Anyway.
You know, it just bothers me. My friend used to have a rule, a very wise person I know. Her rule was your dating should be conducted within a 10-year, plus or minus 10-year window. Right? So
Yes.
10 older, 10 younger, but no more than
Oh
10.
no, come on.
And then I see all these people, 22. And my wife gets mad if I date somebody younger. But no, that's
it's
a big
a thing. It's
difference.
a thing now. It's a thing.
22 years, that's big.
I've
that
seen
would mean I'd be
more.
dating like somebody in their late 20s.
I'm hearing. I'm not. In,
That's-
I'm not
I
in this
couldn't do
world,
that.
but you do. You hear a lot of guys, and they're 50, dating women, that are in their 20s, and it's a thing.
How do they get to
I don't
Now, we're not talking
Their
rich
wisdom,
people.
Their wisdom, maybe they're looking for wisdom.
We're not talking rich, though. Like, they're not rich
Why?
people.
This guy must have. You don't think he had money?
Well, this I'm just talking about in general. Yeah, I don't know how much.
No, sometimes it is. Sometimes it's power. They have maybe they have a really a lot of money in the bank. They're divorced. Women are attracted to power, and men are attracted to power too. You know? Well, older women, you see that too. Younger guys, older women.
Yep, yeah, that's a
That's
thing
kind
too.
of hot. That's cool too.
Now, they started reporting this, but I won't confirm a name. I had an affair with a member of Congress, and I'm not going to, even though we don't see
of
eye to eye
course.
on everything. I promise I'll be discreet. What really bothers me is that so many people are trying to get. They're all naming representatives. Excuse me. What if it's a senator? You don't think I'm good enough to land a senator? I mean, my wife
Right.
didn't really get mad because she's like, "Oh, good, you screw the government for a change." You know, that-
Yes.
But no, my wife lets me have a couple of affairs per year. We have that celebrity list.
Wow, I like that.
Yeah.
That's nice. I gotta have her talk to my wife.
Oh, I do a whole bit about that in my act, but I don't want to ruin that for people that are going to
Yes.
come see me
When
at
are
a
you?
future show.
Where are you this week? By the way,
This week?
yeah, you said you got.
Oh, it's amazing you asked. It is. I have it written
See,
down.
I'm a good
right?
guest.
I had it written down right in front of Eric. February 8th, I'm at John Butera's Aragona Comedy, which is at the Huntington Station Firehouse, 1650 New York Avenue, Huntington Station.
Yes.
That's this Saturday. Doors open at 6, shows 7:30. Call Scott Clunan for tickets, 631-495-5369. I should do
Yeah,
that.
they're writing that down.
I should do that in my radio voice.
Yes, please.
Call Scott Clunan for tickets. Oh, that's the movie preview guy.
Yes.
Call Scott Clunan at 631.
That's too serious for this comedy. You have
Too
to.
serious.
What's your other radio now? Like a more,
In
the
a
guy, the
world.
BS. Oh, yeah, that's
Well, that's the guy from the movie
that's
preview.
the movie guy.
In a world.
But you do Casey Kasem. It would be more of a Casey.
Call Scott Clunan for tickets at 631-495-5369. And tell him John Santo sent you. No, don't tell him that because he probably doesn't even know who I am, even though I'm on the show. That show has headliner Paul Bond, John Butera, John Santo. I can't read my handwriting. Jack Clunan, Caitlin Murphy, and Sean Morton. It's going to be a terrific show. A chartbuster.
Did you notice that a lot of voices come from a Kermit the Frog?
Yes.
Isn't that weird?
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, a lot of voices originate, or like Sammy Davis Jr. Like I used to do with Sammy when I
Do
was
Sammy and blend it in. Can you do a Sammy and a Kermit the Frog blend from one to the other?
I don't know.
Not those two together, but the Kermit.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows? What's on the other side?
But it's in there.
Yeah.
Rainbows are vision.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
the
yeah.
same. It's got
Right
that
down here it
weird,
is, yeah.
that weird thing in your voice.
I don't really do Kermit, but
It has that weird.
and then there are others that I'm trying to think. There are a bunch of them that either came from like Sammy or Kermit, but aren't there's some like
weird in there. It's right in there.
Do you know who the most imitated voice is? I just learned this recently.
who?
Take a wild guess. Worldwide. Most imitated voice, any celebrity. Wild guess.
Oh God,
I know that's it's tough. It's a tough one.
it's old or new? Somebody?
A long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not.
Not brand new.
It's not Brando, is it?
Nope.
Oh wow.
I'll give you a hint. An obscure hint. I'll just tell you.
Yeah, yeah.
It's Michael Caine. Michael Caine is the most imitated impression in the entire world.
Really?
They've got me on the greeting cards now. It's like, hello, happy birthday from Michael Caine. I bet you didn't know that. I didn't
That's
know what you bet that.
great.
Yeah.
That's a good Michael Caine.
Michael Caine, yeah.
Now you do. Here's one that's hard, and I at one time I said I'll never. My voice is not deep enough, but Morgan Freeman. Do you do that?
I do Morgan Freeman.
That's low. You gotta get down.
You got to get real low to do Morgan Freeman. I do a bit about my wife's ugly curtains. You've seen those curtains are hideous. I said, funny. These curtains are funny. First you hate them, then you get used to them, then you do jokes about them on Facebook, and then you just leave them up. That's institutionalized.
It's hard.
It's hard. Morgan
voice
Freeman's
isn't
tough.
low enough for that.
You got to get real low.
I remember waking up in the morning, and like in the morning, your voice is lower. You can.
That's when I do Morgan Freeman, James Earl Jones. In the
You know,
morning.
it's like I never really did like, you know, of course everybody did Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, yeah.
But like in the morning I was able to, like, you know, and I wouldn't even say it wasn't even words. I would just love the fact, like, I'd wake up in the morning, I go, you know, and my favorite thing to do with it was him. The only good Rocky I ever did was him crying. Relax, Rocky. Relax.
Well, I do a whole series about, you know, because he did John Rambo, so I do John Santo. And it's like, Santo,
Santo does Rambo.
he'll never leave a comic behind. I was like, we're going to do like Rambo 2.
That's funny.
It's like, you know, we know that these comedians are being held hostage. Your mission is to go in there, photograph the camp, and come back. I'm supposed to leave him there. Like, I can't do that. You know? And then it was like, you know,
funny.
I did, you know, Colonel Troutman at the beginning.
Yep.
It's like, Sheriff, I didn't come here to save Santo from you. I came to save you from Santo.
Oh, that's great.
I made him. Let me tell you something. Santo can eat enough jalapeno poppers to make a billy goat puke. He'll do a show. He'll host. He'll feature. He'll highlight whatever it takes.
That's awesome.
I love that. Those are good movies, the Rambo movies.
Yeah, they were great.
So what do we got? What else is going on? A Canadian teen called the cops because his fake ID didn't arrive. These are all real
Really?
stories.
Oh,
I'm not making this up. I go on the interwebs, like
Yes, the interwebs.
the Sunday and Monday before the show,
Yes,
and I look at this stuff. And what we have the Iowa caucuses today too.
Oh, that's it. Tonight, right?
Tonight,
it's
yeah.
happening right now. What do you think? Who's coming out of this thing?
I don't know.
I think it's. I think Bernie might pull this off, man.
I
And
agree.
They're dying. Bernie, what do you? It's nice that we have you here. What are you bringing to the table that some of these other people are not?
First of all of these other people are terrible. I got the stolen 4 years ago. It's my turn. It's my turn to be president.
They robbed you of it, didn't they?
Robbed.
Now, more importantly, what did you eat for breakfast this morning?
I had that high fiber stuff.
Because people are worried about your health. They hear.
Oh, I had a crap for 2 hours.
Yes, well, but you had a heart attack, didn't you?
Mild.
And you feel that that's not going to stop you, though.
No, of course not.
Fine.
No, fine.
4 years is not that long for you.
Not that long.
All right. And the hair, can you do something with the hair?
I'm trying, but you know what the problem is? I get all my hair products for free.
I don't know. I feel like it's weird to have a president that can't stand straight. The guy doesn't stand straight. It's weird.
It's you know, all these people are
What would
so
Trump
old.
say about him? Come on, he's got to say some funny stuff.
First of all, Bernie has no shot. Okay, boring Bernie, Sleepy Joe, Buttigieg.
Did you hear the other day?
What did he say the other day?
You heard the interview for the Super Bowl last night?
Part of it.
And I forgot, Sean Hannity goes, I'm going to give you one word. One word.
Oh, to describe everybody.
And he was. And
He's
he
a communist. Bernie's a
No, but
communist.
the best was Bloomberg. Short.
Short. He's so little. Little Michael. Little mini Mike.
That was terrible.
Mini Mike. First of all, he has got. You know what the problem with him is? Is that he doesn't know how to be diplomatic. Like he's over the top, always attacking.
Yes.
He's
If
gotta
he would just like stop.
if he would just listen to his
Right.
staff.
Yes. Yeah. He'll never do it.
Did you ever watch The
'Cause
West
he keeps
Wing?
winning and
we're winning. We're winning.
We're winning, totally winning. Did you ever watch The West Wing?
No.
They used to agonize
Oh, yeah.
over every word the president would say in a speech.
Yep.
Trump is like, screw this, I'm going to tweet it. I'm like, no, you can't say, oh, by the way, we're moving 100,000 troops. No, you can't tell the enemies this, Like with South Korea, I'm like, somebody take the phone away. It's okay if he tweets, but let the White House Communications Office vet the tweet first. So that they would know that Kansas City where it was.
It's sick.
He should make me his communications guy, because I would never allow a tweet to go out unless it was vetted. Policy experts weigh in on it. Everything the president says, but he can move the markets with a single tweet,
and he knows it.
And he knows it,
he
but
does it every other day.
I wish he would calm down. Again, it's an effective way to communicate. And if he's angry about something, by all means, if you want to put it out, but vet it with a staff, have a discussion.
Yeah, somebody should at least have the final say.
I'm surprised that they let him have the phone, because I know a thing or two about presidential security. I've been playing presidents for 30 years. When Obama got elected, he had a BlackBerry. The NSA said, we need to secure that BlackBerry. You can't just be BlackBerrying messages.
Really?
And he wanted to keep it. But the NSA took it for weeks, and they had to encrypt it, and they had to make sure it had all the security protocols, because you could track the phone. An enemy could track the phone. They could intercept the communications. You have to have it to be NSA ready.
That's right. They know where you are.
They know where you are.
Times.
Most people that I know that work for the government, they all have government-issued devices that have the requisite security protocols. And depending on what job they're in, they have different protocols.
Yep. Wow.
So,
Yeah, he's look, I worked, I'm trying to remember the comic, but he said, I don't care what side you're on, he said, but you got to admit some of the stuff this guy says is just crazy, Crazy. And, it's just...
Because the number one, I've actually seen people being interviewed about this. The number one thing that turns people off about him is they say, could it be a little more, just a little bit more calmer, more presidential, and less impulsive with the communication?
On the other side, it's cool because it's like, who the hell wants just the same old garbage?
Right.
These people that promise you everything and
there's
do
a balance.
nothing.
There's a balance of edgy, but also traditional.
And
that has to be met. Yeah. I agree.
That's tough.
But this whole thing on the Iowa caucuses, I was going to cover all these things, but it's actually kind of boring. I feel like in New York, we just vote. You go to the primary, you vote. They have these things where, do you see how the caucuses work?
No, I don't know how they work.
They stand, so there's 4 quadrants, right? Let's say there's 4 candidates. So the room is divided into 4 sections. You stand in the section with your candidate. Mm-hmm. If you don't get a certain percentage, you have to pick another one. So now that's how they weed them out.
Really?
So then you go stand with these other people. Really? And now that's your candidate.
Oh, that's
just freaking
vote.
Weird. Just vote.
That's politics. Yeah. I don't know.
Look at this, Eric. I printed out.
We don't need no stinking script. We don't need no script.
What was that from?
No.
Oh, you're this improv. I thought you were going to say we don't need no stinking spinach. That was in Backdraft.
What was Stinking Badges?
Badges.
That's that old movie.
The old movie. Look at this, 2 1/4 pages I printed out about how the Iowa caucuses work. We're not going to use this.
That's really interesting.
We're having too much fun.
That's really interesting.
Black History Month.
Yes.
Oh, I should. It's Morgan Freeman. Happy Black History Month.
Yes.
Who else do I do that's black? Barack Obama.
Well, he's half black.
Half black. So I only celebrate Black History Month until the 15th. Around Valentine's Day.
People still love him.
Barack Obama.
It's tough. I think we live in such a scared world now in comedy. That's like, are you even allowed to impersonate someone who's not, part of your world? Like,
I do it all the time.
I mean, this is like the thing, everybody's getting so offended. I do all kinds of voices and I impersonate, I do.
Me too.
Pakistan and you know what?
Like the ethnic voices.
Yeah. You
do them.
No,
if a British voice is okay to do, then how come the other ones aren't?
It's just a voice.
Just a voice.
I'm not talking about making fun of any particular,
Were you a fan of the Dark Knight series, the Batman?
No.
You know Bane, though, right? You know who Bane was? The guy with the mask?
See, I'm really bad.
The cancel culture must be cancelled. I encourage all comedians to rise up and take back what is yours. The ability to tell a joke without regard to the hypersensitivity of the cancel culture.
That's how we do. You got to see The Dark
That's
Knight with
crazy.
Bane. I love doing Bane. Bane
That's
is funny
cool.
because Bane,
I'll have to ask my son about that one.
he has such a wise ass response. Like the CIA guy goes, "Was getting caught part of your plan?" And he goes,
Of course.
like he just has like
Now,
an answer.
do you do Star Wars people?
Sure, I do. Darth Vader.
Oh, okay, of course.
The Force is with you, young Skywalker, but you're not a Jedi yet. But I do it better in the morning, like we talked about with the deep.
Yeah.
Then I do.
Do you have to warm up your voice?
I do the Emperor. So my wife tried to get the remote control. I said, take it. I'm unarmed. Like that. So I'm like, but you will have that remote control when you pry it from my cold, dead fingers.
But I do the Emperor, and I do. Who else do I do from Star Wars? Billy D. Williams. Don't worry, princess. We'll find Han and get him back from that bounty hunter. After I have a Colt 45 malt liquor.
Oh, wow.
Remember Billy D.
Yes,
Williams?
of course.
He's 82. He's in episode 9.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's in the preview, so I didn't give anything away. He's in the
that's
preview.
okay. That's
He's
okay.
in the preview.
No, I know that.
But I thought the movie was, because he's so old, I thought the movie was going to be The Empire Blue Cross and Blue Shield Strikes Back.
That's freaking. I'm trying to think of Billy. Same role though, right?
Lando
No,
Calrissian.
No, but I'm saying he's the same guy. Though.
Same role.
That's cool. How did they bring him? Oh, you can't tell me.
I don't want to tell you. Just he was in the preview,
Okay.
and he was at the preview. That's all we're going to say.
Where else are you this week, John? Everybody wants to know.
Well, where are you this week? Upcoming shows. Upcoming shows.
Actually, let me think. Oh, on Thursday evening, I'm actually going to be over at the Brokerage Comedy Club.
This Thursday.
This Thursday, I'm on a show called, you're going to love it, Hidden Jew.
Hidden Jew.
Hidden Jew. Oh, I'm not the hen, I'm the Jew. Yes, they're doing I'm the Jew on the hen. Not the hen, I'm the Jew. And they're doing a whole, oh, it's going to be lovely. It's going to be a lovely thing. Oh, it's lovely.
I used to do.
Now, see, that's a good British accent, but that's a
Yes,
British.
oh.
There's even multi.
There's all different types of accents
Within Britain.
No, because you have the people who they do it over the top like that.
And then you get the blokes who are down in dirt.
You know those guys. They look like they just licked someone's ass. You know. I don't know if I should have co-starred the show. I apologize.
Now I know you will know this guy. You're a fan of Wayne's World, right? As a
Yes,
music fan.
yes.
You must remember Del Preston.
Yes, of course. You do it.
So there we were in Sri Lanka, firmly sirloin, and Ozzy wouldn't go on stage without a brandy glass full of brown M&Ms. So Jeff Beck pops his head round the door and says, "There's a sweet shop at the end of town." So we go. That's like a
I
whole
love
different.
it.
But
I
like
love
he's got the long hair,
That's awesome.
and the leather vest and everything. He's like, "Hold the bell. I had the same dream." Was it Jim Morrison? You know, like I love. He's like a
That's
perfect gentleman,
great.
but he looks like this like grungy roadie guy.
It's their voices.
I
are
love that
awesome.
movie.
I was once at a restaurant. I was at a bed and breakfast, and I think we were in Vermont, and we get all these recommendations for dinner. We go to this nice restaurant, and we're sitting having dinner, and this British woman, you know, like totally out of place, and the waitress comes up to her, and she said, "Did you enjoy the?" How was your meal? She said, "Did you enjoy the lamb?" She goes,
Oh, it was lovely, she said, but it wasn't lamb.
She goes, no, that you had the lamb. She goes, oh, no, it was lovely. Everything was lovely, but it wasn't lamb. And the waitress goes, no, it was. That was lamb. She goes, it was tenderloin. And so now, like for the last 30 years, my wife, anytime
Tenderloin.
it's lovely, but it's not lamb.
It's not lamb.
That's like my favorite. It's lovely, but it's not lamb. She would not accept that it was lamb. Like it was lamb. You ate lamb.
That's
It
funny.
was tenderloin.
I was in a Chinese restaurant in Chinatown, and I asked the waiter for directions on how to get back to Penn Station, and there wasn't our waiter, so I was surprised. He spoke with a British accent.
Really?
So here I'm thinking he's going to say, "You go to here, you go to like that," and he's like, you take the E train to this stop. And I'm like, holy shit. And he's like, what are you looking at? But he was from England.
That's crazy.
But you're expecting the stereotypical Chinese thing.
don't
And we
know.
live our world in stereotypes.
How are you when you hear man from China? What you hear in your head? You do Chinese guy? There's so many like different type of man. Like they do the Chinese man, but it's all different.
You know, it's like those are the kinds that like those to me are not like that's a voice. It's a silly, you know. But you heard there are guys like that out there.
That's why there's nothing wrong with it. As long as you're fair
It's just
and the material isn't like over the top offensive. That's how
if you were to
that's how
sing
we
a
live.
song and wanted to sound right, I mean, you would sing it, try and sing it like the guy. Like when we were in a band, I used to have to sing tunes, and remember, like there were songs like you didn't even know the words, and I remember I would just, I knew the sound of the. Remember that
Of the
song?
guy, yeah.
There was a great song, and nobody knows the words to it, but it was called. Shoot! Oh God!
Say it! Say it! Say it!
I'll think of it in a minute, but. I couldn't I couldn't understand the words, but I sounded like the guy, and that's like nobody knew the difference. It was I'll think of it before the end of the show.
Before we only have
another
10 minutes
minute.
left.
I'll think of it.
You know what's weird with the British accents? They don't sound British when they sing.
Right, that is odd.
They don't sound. And then it's like they sing perfect.
Yeah, it's not like
Let it be, let it be.
Right, it's
No,
like
they
let
don't
it
do
be,
that.
and then it's like,
Right.
oh yeah, we worked it out with Roger in the band, and we had a
Right,
blast in Belgium. You know,
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
holy
yeah.
cow, they don't sound like that when they sing. Well, we got to do the weather.
Oh well,
We got to do the weather, and I do the weather. I do a different. Here's a list of celebrities,
I get
and
to
I'm gonna.
pick?
You get to pick what celebrity I read the weather as.
Oh,
And if do you want to read the part of the weather too, in a different voice?
sure.
Because you're such an amazing impressionist. I think that'll be fun.
Amazing! He's
So,
amazing.
I'm gonna read tonight's weather.
Okay.
And you read tomorrow's.
All right.
So
Since
I'm gonna
I don't do
start-
that many voices, can I do The Godfather?
Sure. So I'll read tonight's weather, and you read tomorrow. So who do you want me to read for
right.
tonight's weather?
I'm going with. Well, I kind of liked. Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler.
Detailed forecast for Massapequa. Mostly cloudy with a low around 41. West wind 5 to 7 miles per hour. Becoming light and variable in the evening.
And now you're going to
Ladies and
read.
gentlemen, that was good.
Thank you.
Good. I like that.
Now you're going to read Tuesday from there to there. There you
I
go.
wasn't told. No one told me about this.
What, the celebrity weather?
So you did tonight?
I did tonight. You're going to do Tuesday, tomorrow, and evening.
Oh God, that's a lot. All
It's
right,
a
here
lot
we
of
go.
weather, believe me, a lot of weather.
All right, I'm doing it as. Let me see if I can do Brando.
Light rain likely, mainly before 1 p.m. It's cloudy. It's not as cloudy as I'd like it, but it's going to be cloudy with a high near about 51 degrees. Calm wind becoming southwest around 6 p.m. in the afternoon. Michael, get me another glass of wine, please.
Okay, Pop.
Chance of precipitation is 60%. No precipitation amounts of less than 1/10 of an inch possible. Would you do the next one, please?
I can't do these voices anymore. I told you.
No, you're good. That was good.
I love you, Brando. Oh, it's right on.
That's awesome.
So let's
So
see
you
what
do
else.
weather for your people. I like that.
Yeah, well, we do the radio. This format we try to satire. It's like SNL's Weekend Update meets 10-10 Wins,
Yes.
or meets CBS. Right, the satirical radio show.
Yeah, you can't
That's
be
what we
too
do here.
serious.
Yeah.
If you want weather, you go. Yeah.
I used to do the show by myself. I used to just interview myself doing different impressions.
I'll bet you did, John.
But that was so boring.
Oh, boy.
Horrible. The people hated it. So we have. I love having a different special guest co-host each week.
I want you to know I loved it.
You like the show?
I love it.
I actually do a voice just like that.
Who is it?
It was a recruiter. She called me up and she goes, "John, do you know sequel?" And I said, no. I said, no, I use Alteryx. So you're on the Alteryx. I'm like, no, Alteryx. Alteryx.
That's exactly the way she sounded.
great.
It's amazing. We do this. High five. We do like the same type of voice. The old smoking,
Yes,
chain
exactly.
smoking woman.
My mother used to. Her older sister was 25 years older than her, so we'd go to Florida to visit, and the friends all smoked,
Right.
And they all
I told him and I said, honey, I said, you should never smoke because
Never.
And then one year she stopped smoking, and her voice came back to normal. And then her name was
Sucky. She used to call herself Sucky.
And she thought she was hot shit. She said, oh, I found a new travel agent. I said, I buried 4 husbands before you even talked to that lady.
And she stopped smoking, and the next year was like, hello. I was like, who are you? I'm Suki. Remember me? You know, it's like, it was totally different. She's just stopped smoking. It was
That's
crazy. She got her voice back.
She gets the voice back. The smoking will do that to you. Mr. Producer, he's eating soup, I think. Or something. I don't know. It was an actual hot chocolate day the other day.
Was it really?
I didn't have my hot chocolate. I have to have one.
I did a show the other night. You know Mark Hirschman, right?
Sure.
We go to a diner, the traditional diner thing.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to eat healthy. I've been working out again, trying to get my. It's now midnight. We're sitting at a diner. He goes, Eric, order a chocolate egg cream. It's so good.
Okay.
And I'm like, I haven't had a chocolate egg cream, in 20 plus years.
Right.
And he goes, come on, you got to get one. I'm getting a vanilla one, right? So I said, all right, give me a chocolate. It was freaking good. Oh, you like? I don't know if you like egg cream.
You guys went to a diner after the show?
Yeah, it was just.
I went years ago.
It was great.
I went to a diner after the show with a couple of people from that show. There were 2 other sets of comics from different shows all at the same diner.
Oh, see.
So 3 different shows,
Like the old days.
all went to the same diner just by chance.
great.
So we put, it was like, oh my God, I know you for that show. It was like, you couldn't believe it.
That's so.
It was almost like imagine to the people sitting in the diner, it was like the what's that famous Hollywood, the Brown Derby?
Yes.
So these people are like, oh my God, all these, comics.
It's amazing. It's fun.
Not quite the Brown Derby experience, but for like D-list celebrities, it kind of was.
Look, we fall into some category.
So it's about that time, Mr. Producer. He keeps us right on schedule.
Well, John,
Bobby is the best producer. I love Bobby.
So do you have anything you want to tell the audience how
I'm
to
doing
see you?
Yeah, so Brokerage Comedy Club Thursday. It's actually a cool show.
Yep.
Mostly city people. I'm hosting it for them.
Cool.
It's their first time on Long Island. It's like their 10th Hindu show.
Oh,
but
cool.
First on Long Island. So Hindu, Jewish.
Right.
Kind of like putting all these people together to make some funny.
How do they get tickets for the show?
Go to brokerage.govs.com.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you have a website or anything you want to promote? How to
go
see
to
you?
erichaftlive.com. I have all my dates up there.
Cool.
And, I'm out there, all the time.
Something happened on my website. I have to update it this week. I couldn't update the shows, so I'm just going to give you the 2 shows. I only have 2 shows right now coming up that are.
Ladies and gentlemen, John Santo's dates.
Thank you, Mr. Carson. So I told you February 8th, this Saturday, Huntington Station, big show, huge show, bigly show. It's a dinner show, includes everything. It's
Nice.
amazing. Scott Clunan has the tickets. 631-495-5369 is the number. March 28th, I'm at Theater 3 with Rich Walker.
Yes, great show.
That's going to be great. Our mutual friend Rich. I love working
Love
with
it.
Rich.
Love it.
And you go to Theater 3's website.
Yes.
Goggle it. It's all on the goggle.
Goggle it.
Goggle it.
Theater 3, and the tickets are available. It's March 28th. Just one show only.
Very cool.
And I
Thank
can't
you
wait
for
to get back
having
to
me,
Theater
man.
3. Thank you for coming
We
in.
got to work together soon.
Absolutely.
I miss you.
Oh, what about you want to promote Haft to Left?
Nah.
Nah?
That's me.
That's
Eric
you.
Haft.
Right.
EricHaftLive.com.
And what a logo you have, the banner.
Oh, my God.
I
is
love
that
performing there.
fantastic.
Fantastic.
I want to thank John for having me. It was wonderful.
Thank you for coming on.
No, really, it was great. Thanks, man.
You were-
we got to be idiots. For
we got to
a
be
couple
idiots
hours.
for an hour.
Hour and a half.
Special guest co-host
Oh, an
Eric
hour, I'm
Haft.
sorry. Yeah.
What's your website one more time?
Eric Haft Live.
Eric Haft Live. Mine is johnSantoComedian.com. And I got to close it with a different celebrity.
Do it.
How about Michael Caine?
Yes.
I'll do Michael Caine, the emotional voice. I want to thank all of the people out there for watching the radio. I mean, listening to the radio. It's a radio. You listen to the radio. Listening to the radio. I want to thank my producer, Bobby, my special guest co-host, Eric Haft. What a show. Tune in next week, and we'll see you then. All the best. Cheers.